Hi, I'm Rocco Stano, and welcome to StoryMakers. Today we have author-illustrator Angela Dominguez. Hi, Angela.
Hi, Rocco.
How did you end up coming here to New York?
Well, I've been writing and illustrating picture books for a while now, and I had gone out to San Francisco to study illustration, and I decided to really just focus on my career in publishing, so I moved out here about 1.5 years ago.
Well, we have some of your books, and we have a llama right here, which one of your students made for you?
Yes, I used to teach at the Academy of Art University in San Francisco, and on site one of my students made me this cute little llama when she found out about the book.
Yes, the book called Maria Had a Little Llama, which is reminiscent of the famous rhyme, Mary Had a Little Lamb.
Yes, I did it as an assignment for this organization called the Society of Children's Book Writers and Illustrators. And it was just do a twist on Mary Had a Little Lamb. And when I thought of Mary Had a Little Lamb, I thought of the English countryside, and I kind of thought, well, that's a little boring or predictable. And then I started looking at books of sheep, and I saw a llama, and I thought of Peru, and I thought that's a really fun way to kind of make it my own. And I know that culture so much more.
So you're familiar with the Peruvian culture?
Yes, I am. I grew up in Mexico City. I was actually born there, so I have this strong tie to like Hispanic cultures, and I have a auntie that's obsessed with different like indigenous cultures.
Additionally, the text has the traditional English text, but it also has the Spanish text. Oh, and this book won the Belpre honor.
Yes, it did.
Congratulations. When was that?
That was in 2014. That was amazing. They just call you and they tell you if, you won it, and I was just dumbfounded and so excited.
Well, Pura Belpre was a librarian here in New York City, and she did puppet shows, etc., and they named this award after her. Your book that's not out yet, Marta Big and Small, which you illustrated, and you were nice enough to bring an illustration from that book, and tell us a little bit about your work when you're creating an illustration like this.
Well, I really love drawing, and I discovered this technique with working on a book called Let's Go Hugo with this tissue paper gluing it on top of the drawing. So what I've started doing is doing my drawing, putting tissue paper, sometimes putting a little bit of marker, and then scanning it in and then putting in color digitally on top. It's fun, and it's a really fast process for me. Oh,
terrific. And so this book is published by?
Roaring Brook.
And it's coming out?
August of 2016.
Oh, so this summer we will have that book. And you just mentioned Let's Go Hugo. I happen to have the book and an illustration. Hugo, he's a bird who lives in Paris.
Well, he originally started as a wind-up chicken that my mom gave me, and I named him Hugo, and I'd wind him up and say, look at Hugo, Hugo. And he evolved into a painting of a bird, and then eventually I started doing all these little paintings of him like the way he looks now. And I put that on the internet, and it got really popular, a lot of response, and my agent thought there was a story there.
Yeah, well, we actually have an early version of the drawing for the cover here, and I am going to hold that up here, which you did on what looks like tracing paper.
Yeah, I love tracing paper. I get to draw something really quick on it and then draw on top of it with other layers.
Mm-hmm. And so I am going to open this up like this so that we can take a look at the early version of the cover and the actual cover. I see a few changes. I see his friend is flying over by the Eiffel Tower.
Yes, my art director, Lily, decided that, maybe more of a park scene on the front where he lives, something that's clearly more Paris on the front would be a good idea, and I thought it was good.
Okay, terrific. Hugo, I understand, appears in your latest book, Knit Together, and this is an illustration from Knit Together. It doesn't have Hugo in this particular one, but it's about knitting. Is it about knitting?
It is. My mom is a terrific knitter. And I always admired her so much for that, but I was only capable of drawing. I've tried knitting, I can't do it. So it's kind of a love story to my mom, and it's about a girl who's frustrated about the fact that she can't knit, but the mom makes her realize that she's special in her own way, and they collaborate together on some blankets.
Speaking of blankets, we each have a blanket here that your mother actually made.
Right.
And these are miniature baby blankets that she makes?
Yeah, you know, when I was younger, we actually did collaborate on a couple of blankets together, and these were the designs, and then I put them in the book, and then my mom made these little mock-ups.
So this is a great book for working together and a parent and child collaboration. And if a mom or a dad wants to teach their child to knit, this might be something that would encourage them. You're currently living in Williamsburg, in Brooklyn, and I understand that one of the most popular pets in Williamsburg these days is a French bulldog. And you see them on the streets. They kind of replaced pugs, I'm sorry, but that's what I've been told. And so we have Santiago stays, and this is a, Santiago is not the little boy, right? No, it's the dog, which happens to be a French bulldog.
Right.
And here we can look and see the sketch and the actual book cover. Santiago, I mean, I read the book, and he is a dog that basically doesn't move. You know, he doesn't want to go for a walk, and you know, they're trying to entice him with his sweater, and he's just rolling over. Very cute. And they're still trying with a yummy treat, but it doesn't work. And they go, maybe a turkey leg with a hamburger. I'm getting hungry. And he still doesn't move. If you have a new a brother or sister or a new puppy, this might be a great book.
Yeah, I was inspired a little bit by my new niece, and then also my brother used to take care of me when I was little. So it's like, he's a big inspiration for how the little boy looks in the book.
Right. You mentioned that Peru was the location for Maria Had a Little Llama. And in a book that you did the illustrations for, a new book that just came out by Monica Brown, Lola Lavigne is Not Mean. And in this book, Lola is part Peruvian. And here's an illustration of her dad, who is an artist. And then we see that her mom is here. And is this her brother?
Yes. He has a crazy afro.
Yes. And so it kind of shows the very diverse family. Yes. So that is Lola Lavigne is Not Mean, and that's by Little Brown.
And there's going to be 4 of them. There's 3 other ones coming out.
We have like a few previews to announce here on KidLit TV, and one is this illustration of some giraffes, and this is from an upcoming book called How Do You Say, or
¿Cómo se dice?
¿Cómo se dice? Yes, and so it'll be both in English and in Spanish?
Yes, it will be.
Yes, so how do you say? So is it a book that teaches children how to say different words in Spanish?
Yeah, you know, for me, I wanted to do a book that was bilingual, that was really fun, and maybe animals that were unexpectedly, you know, Hispanic or could speak Spanish. So one speaks English, one speaks Spanish, and despite the language barrier, they still end up being friends. But it's a nice way to teach a couple of basic words.
Yes, so what are some of the words that you'll be highlighting in this book?
Agua, water, comida.
Oh, lunch.
Food.
Food.
Yeah.
I only took 7 years of Spanish. Great. And now there's another project that you're working on that's very dear to your heart. And it's a project about one of your relatives, right?
Right, that's Sing Don't Cry. That's about my grandfather. So my grandfather, he was this really kind man that was always really optimistic, and he had had some setbacks growing up. He lost one of his legs in an accident, but he still managed to walk around and be like one of the happiest guys around. So he would always play the guitar, and like the inspiration is Sing Don't Cry, or that song Canta No Llores, which is basically, despite negative things that might happen, you still want to be positive and try to, you know, just carry on.
Yes, and we have an illustration, in the works illustration, of your grandfather. And is that you?
Yes, it is.
Okay, yes. And here he is playing the guitar. So you used family photos for this, and also a DVD of him singing.
Well, this particular recording took place in Oaxaca. My auntie had invited my grandfather to go down and recorded him performing with some friends. And he used to just would sing for all of us. And my fondest memories are him coming and visiting, bringing his guitar, and just singing for us for a couple hours.
Nadie puede inspirar lo que te inspira. Nadie puede expresar lo que te expresa.
What a great tribute to your grandfather.
Oh, he was a special guy. He deserves it.
So when's the date for this book?
It's not for a while. It's 2017.
2017. So how many books are you actually working on right now?
Right now, I guess technically it's 3.
3 books. Yeah. Well, thanks for coming, because you're a busy person juggling 3 books, writing the books and illustrating the books. So thanks, and we really enjoyed learning about you and your family and your llama right here.
Yes. Thank you.
So remember, until next time, give a kid a book in any format.